Disney has been incredibly lucky over the past decade to have some of the most talented actors working today take on some of their most iconic characters as part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And on the flip side, these actors have been equally blessed to work on such a juggernaut of a franchise. And in order to keep working, there are some rules that these actors must follow. You'll already know this if you watched our previous video, but today we are here to tell you about a few more rules, such as having their social media content monitored and sometimes even having their involvement at all kept tightly under wraps. So let's dive in and take a look, shall we? If you were cast in a Marvel movie, what would be the first thing you'd do after hearing the news? Us? We'd probably brag about it to every bully who ever picked on us, or every potential date who ever rejected us. Nanny nanny boo boo, stick your head in doo doo, that kind of stuff. Well, for MCU actors, that's not really an option, as your very role in the films is often kept secret. Sure, you could have a starring role, where they'll announce you're casting at Comic-Con like Simu Liu in the Shang-Chi film, or you could be like Michael Rosenbaum, whose role in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was kept a secret until the movie hit theaters. Sorry to tell you, but you're more than likely not going to be rubbing it in anyone's faces. Now, say that you're cast in Black Panther 2 and want to rock a sweet South African accent. It sounds so cool, right? Sort of British-esque mixed with some of that traditional African sound. Yeah, that's gonna fly about as well as those ships Ross shot down in the first film. Not very well. See, in movies like Black Panther, Marvel Studios has strived to maintain a certain level of authenticity with their actors, especially in regards to things like cultural details. So what does this mean for your South African accent? Well, you better ditch it, because that accent is the way it is due to a history of colonization by European settlers. Something that Wakanda never experienced, since it was never colonized at all. Now, if you think ditching the accent is rough, just imagine how bad things must be for Vin Diesel, who has to ditch 99.9% of the English language. See, when Vin gets a script, it has full dialogue written out for his character Groot, and some of it is deep, heartfelt stuff, the kind of dialogue actors really enjoy sinking their teeth into. Vin then gets to say none of this, instead croaking out the same 3 words over and over again. The dialogue is there so that Vin knows the emotions he is supposed to convey as Groot, but no matter what, he is never allowed to actually say what is written. Always and forever, I am Groot. But at least he gets to keep his chrome dome looking just as shiny as he likes it, unlike Scarlett Johanson, who is obligated to change her hairstyle with each and every film appearance. Why is this? Is Natasha Romanoff just somebody who can never quite settle on a hairstyle? No, it largely has to do with her toys, as few of them as there are. Since Black Widow's costume doesn't really change all that much, unlike her co-stars, there wouldn't be much to differentiate one movie's action figure from another if not for the different do. But hey, at least the hairstyles always look pretty freaking awesome. But if hair is the only thing that changes for you, at least that's pretty manageable. Sometimes MCU actors have to deal with entire sequences changing, often without much time to learn the new way of doing things. Such as when Dave Bautista and Chris Pratt were set for their duel in Guardians of the Galaxy, a fight that took 2 solid months of practice to nail down, only for director James Gunn to decide to change it with only a day or so to learn the new choreography. To the actors' credit, they nailed it, but it wound up taking them 22 takes to get down. When your character is set to take a dirt nap in the MCU, you probably want them to go out in a cool way. Visually, a really cool way to go is to have your head say bye-bye to the rest of your body. Well, that's not gonna happen for you. Going hand in hand with the whole no R-rated content in movies rule, MCU actors don't get the luxury of biting the big one in such a cool way. Unless, of course, your name is Josh Brolin and the movie you were in is Endgame, in which case you get to go out that way, but even then it'll be shot in such a way that sort of hides it. With a few noticeable exceptions, if you become an actor in the MCU, you won't be making any appearances as your character in any of Marvel's TV shows. This is due to Marvel Studios and Marvel Television being largely disconnected from each other, with only a passing bit of cooperation between the two, which many chalk up to reported issues between Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige and Television's Jeff Loeb. Of course, this doesn't apply to Disney Plus shows, as those shows are productions of Marvel Studios as opposed to Marvel Television. Is there something you really want to hide in the background of a Marvel film you were just cast in? Maybe a copy of Song of the South, just to poke some fun at Disney's problematic past? Yeah, nope. See, the House of Mouse gets complete and final say over any Easter eggs that make their way into Marvel films, especially those that connect back to other Disney properties or the company itself. So Ultron singing "I Have No Strings on Me" in Age of Ultron? Totally cool. You hiding a copy of the film that Disney wants to forget, and more importantly wants all of us to forget about, on the set of a Marvel movie? Yeah, that's not gonna happen. You know what else isn't going to happen? You posting a pic of the awesome set piece you are filming on Instagram. Sure, you may just be doing it so that you can get a few likes and maybe a batch of new followers, but this is a big no-no, as Disney is notorious for closely monitoring the social media accounts of members of the Marvel family. Posting a picture of you eating a meal with your co-stars off set? That's cool, as long as there's nothing that is supposed to be hidden in that shot. Just keep your phone tucked away while on set, okay? The final rule is one that might seem kind of obvious, but it's a rule nonetheless, and that is simply don't do anything that could in any way, shape, or form upset the mouse. See, Disney is a company that's entire success is built upon the careful creation and maintenance of their brand. It's kind of their thing, and as such, they have no qualms about cutting you out of the picture if you do any harm to said brand, especially bad-mouthing the company. So while you're enjoying your time as a member of the MCU, just remember one thing: the mouse sees all, and the mouse knows all. Doesn't look like it is all that easy to be an actor in the MCU, huh? Would you deal with all this just for a chance to be part of the franchise? Were there any rules that we missed? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below, and while you're down there, why not consider subscribing to ScreenRant for even more great content just like this in your feed each and every day. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you at the movies.